At least you don't have your big rubber masturbation.
Hey, apparently we're on live. What's going on, guys? It's your buddy, it's your pal, Spaz Phoenix, the YWC Reality Check, and my screen is freezing, which is awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. That's a horrible, horrible way to start a video. But, anyways, this is the tackle for the cock, also known as Raw's Clash of the Champions. Before I get to my guests, sorry guys, I'm going to make you wait just a second. I do have to send a ridiculous shout out to the Ultimate Torier and all the other members of the Bear Hug It Out podcast that plugged the hell out of me this week. Really, really appreciate it. So the least I can do is return the favor. Guys, you know, I've said it before. If you're doing the podcast thing instead of the YouTube thing, after you're done listening to me and Guapo and Kristen, obviously, flip over onto your iPad, look up the Bear Hug It Out podcast. It is worth your time. It's a lot of fun. And they're not as negative as most of the people in the YWC.
Or us.
Well, me tonight, for sure, because we're talking about Raw. All right, why? There we go.
Everything's fucked
Anyways,
up tonight.
so that was a really, really shitty and unprofessional way to start the video. I'm here with Guapo.
Hola, mis amigos. Señor Guapo here again for another wonderful tackle.
And audio only, we have a very sick black cat feline. What's up, hon?
Hey, everybody. I had this big plan, these big dreams of getting dressed up and actually putting on makeup for the show. But this is what's happening. Is audio Kristen.
Okay, you guys know how I feel about this show. But if we're going to talk about big dreams, can I share something with you guys for a second? I got two envelopes here. I got Survivor Series tickets here, and I got TakeOver Toronto tickets here.
I totally wish I could see that, except my computer froze, but I'm still here somehow, but I can't click back to the Hangout.
Well, this
is going well.
Well, we can hear you, and you can hear us, so I think we're good. Guys, I have a task for you tonight. Typically, I start off these videos by asking you guys the same old tired question. Are we excited for the pay-per-view on Sunday? I'm going to flip the script a little bit. You guys, if you want to take on this task, have the task of getting me excited for the show this Sunday. But Guapo, what are you thinking about the show going into it on Sunday?
Going into the show this Sunday, I'm looking forward to a few, 4 matches in particular. Honestly, everything else, I just don't even care. I missed watching Raw the past 2 weeks. I just flipped through Raw from this past Monday on my DVR, literally half an hour ago before doing this video, so I would know what the fuck I was talking about.
I did that as well.
So yeah, Kristen didn't even get her inaugural pre-tackle nap in, so she's really, really being a trooper tonight, guys. Show her some down in the comment section.
But the worst part about this cock of a pay-per-view has to be that a match I'm looking forward to, one of the matches I'm looking forward to the most, is a match that I got put together this past Monday.
And really anything that got us excited about it was done on a completely different show.
Which you can find on a WWE Network for only $9.99.
Or $11.99 up here in Canada.
And
overall thoughts going into the show?
I feel about the same way that I did last night, which is that I feel crappy about it.
So your current health status represents what you feel.
Exactly. How I feel and how I sound right now is a perfect representation of the level of enthusiasm I have for this pay-per-view, which is none.
Okay, I got one thought to pass by you guys, because I was tossing this idea around on Twitter on Monday, and it's not really got anything to do with this Sunday, but just in theory, I know we've got a brand split. The pay-per-views are going to be brand specific, but the idea of Clash of Champions being, all the titles get defended, wouldn't it make more sense? I know it's not a big 5, but wouldn't it make more sense to have this as a dual-branded pay-per-view?
Wait, this is Clash of Champions? I thought it was Night of Champions.
No, they bought the name, or sorry, they bought the copyright to WCW's Clash of the Champions. So
okay.
take the Night of Champions logo, keep it the same font, change Night to Clash, which doesn't make any sense because no two champions are clashing. If the IC and the US champions were clashing, for example, that would be a clash of champions,
Right.
plural. But I would say either, make it a split-branded pay-per-view so that all 9 of our titles now could be defended, or have it replace bragging rights where the world champion fights the world champion, the tag champions fight the tag champions, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, down the card. I think...
Oh, you go ahead.
Yeah. No, I just think with it being, the whole idea of it being every title is defended, I don't know why WWE as a company is defending half their titles. I get it's all the titles on Raw, but I think you could even, if you wanted to do it that way, you could even throw the NXT champions in this case. But that's just me.
Yeah. But I see exactly what you mean, and I honestly would rather the first option of make it a dual pay-per-view, because having every single champion on that card, I mean, that fills the card by itself, right?
And then you don't have non-title matches at
Or
the
if
top
you
of the champion.
or if you do have a non-title, it's one non-title that's helped to build a storyline for something else.
Or a number 1 contenders match. Even that I could.
Correct.
Or a battle royal, whatever the case may be. So 3 things we might be getting before I get into the actual card. I don't know why this is a new current thing. Are we going to get a Bo Dallas squash match?
Yes.
Why? Okay, and this is the kind
because we have to.
This is the this is the kind of thing I really need Kristen's rage for, and I don't think we're going to get it tonight. Why is Bo Dallas, who just made himself very famous for getting his ass drunk as fuck and calling Seth Rollins an asshole in the middle of an airport, being suddenly rewarded with a run, so to speak? Like, he's facing jobbers, but why is he getting this? We're going to make Bo Dallas like aggressive now on the heels of that.
Because WWE doesn't make any sense. This is what Kristen you're getting tonight, guys. This is what's happening.
How many drugs are you on, or are you at liberty to say?
I am on, let's see, I'm on Flonase. I'm on double the Flonase that I should. I'm on an anti-inflammatory that my mother gave me, so I have no idea what's in that. 3 Benadryl and Zyrtec. So this is going to go great.
Well, guys, it's nice knowing you. Kristen's going to be signing off in about 20 minutes, so...
I told them before we went live, there's maybe a 40% chance, a actual 40% chance that I could fall asleep mid-podcast. Not due to boredom, due to medication.
We're going to make Spazzy great again. Yes, we will.
I may be broadcasting Kristen's nap live on YouTube.
Which will actually be a great representation of how I feel about this pay-per-view.
Well, it is Raw.
Kristen, what did you think about this match?
It's Monday Night NyQuil.
Yep.
I want to take a moment to say hello to Elena Nicole in the chat there. One of my newest and biggest fans, especially on Twitter. We bond over the Alexa Bliss thing, like Guapo and I do. I really wish we could talk about Alexa Bliss.
Wait. Can we please?
Can we talk about Alexa Bliss?
Please.
Can we talk about the fact that we're getting the match at the SmackDown pay-per-view that I've wanted since the draft? Becky Lynch versus Alexa Bliss for the championship. Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Guapo's a happy Guapo. Spaz is a happy Spaz. And I'm pretty damn sure that Elena in the chat is a happy Elena. Moving on. Braun Strowman versus Sin Cara round 3 is a thing we might be getting.
Which I don't mind, especially if they use it as a... Okay. That was one match I did watch, surprisingly, from Raw. I know, right? But if you watch it, it's not bad. Only for the pure fact that, yes, Sin Cara got squashed. But you can see the level that Braun has come from before to now. especially with someone who is experienced as Sin Cara in the ring. So
I just don't know why the first person to put a dent in the big, the big. I know I don't like Braun Strowman, but I know what they're trying to do with him. They're trying to make him like the big walking wall, indestructible guy.
Right.
I don't know why the first person to be able to sort of make a dent in Braun Strowman is Sin Cara. It just strikes me very, very odd.
Because if you pay attention,
WWE doesn't make any sense.
Because if you pay attention, this month is Latin Spanish American month.
Is that it? That's totally the reason why. Now that
That's exactly the reason why.
But can I just go? Okay, can I just go back to something I said on my Raw review then? Right? We debuted the cruiserweights. We're going to talk about the cruiserweights later on. Fatal four-way: Brian Kendrick, Grand Metalik, Cedric Alexander.
Grand Metalik. Sorry.
Great match, right? During that match, we were talking about the great heritage of Grand Metalik, the great heritage of luchadors and whatever, which is awesome if we hadn't spent the first hour of Raw squashing one of your better-known luchadors.
Yes.
There's no consistency there.
Oh, no.
But I digress.
Can we be serious for a minute? Does anybody still go fuck about Sin Cara? Really?
I do.
I do. It's got potential for me because again, this is going to go back into those one or the other scenarios. We got to do one or the other here. Kalisto's coming back from injury soon. We either have to move Kalisto to Raw to join the Cruiserweight division, which I'd be 100% okay with because I want to see TJ Perkins versus Kalisto, or move Sin Cara to SmackDown, reform the Lucha Dragons because there's a better tag division on SmackDown.
I say
there's a better everything on SmackDown with few exceptions.
I say what they do is after this, after the cock, they have a trade. And it's going to be between SmackDown getting Cesaro and Raw gets Kalisto.
Oh, Cesaro's a sad story we're going to talk about later. Braun Strowman, the only way I will accept him being part of this pay-per-view is if they're actually going to continue this story with Sin Cara. I don't like it, but I don't want them. Do you remember what they did? Lucha Dragons, are you high? No, thank you, says Elena. Okay, it's better than what they're doing with Sin Cara right now. I'm not saying it's gold, but I mean, Lucha Dragons versus American Alpha is something I wouldn't mind seeing again. I'm not going to lie.
Good. That'd be good.
Yeah, I'd definitely be okay with that.
Elena's being a heat seeker in the comment section. Eva Marie is better than Cesaro.
Get out. Get out.
I mean, I've heard of all read everything, but I didn't know it was that time of the month.
Elena, you were on more drugs than I am, and that is for saying that, and that is pretty bad.
A lot of drugs.
I almost want to get Elena in here because I think a debate between Elena and Kristen would be fucking awesome.
Can I at least be at the top of my game?
Huh?
Oh yeah, no, not tonight. Eventually, we will get Elena in on here when she decides she wants to come hang out with the cool kids. She's over there. She's big time. She's going to be taking over from OKFabe, the Monday Night Raw rundown Elena party, after party hangover. I'm forgetting the name. I'm sorry, but go check her out anyway. But yeah, honestly, reform the Dragons on SmackDown or put Kalisto on Raw because right now it's very backwards.
I would definitely be okay with Lucha Dragons back on SmackDown only because I already own the shirt.
And because you are our token luchador on this show.
He doesn't wear the fucking mask anymore, so no, you aren't.
You had to say it, right?
I did have to say it because I knew he'd put it on.
We're going to get El Guapo.
Do I know Guapo or don't I?
Hola, mis amigos, Senor Guapo here once again for another amazing tackle. Now let's get this going.
Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, the last in the potential matches, and then we're going to get into the actual card. Can somebody... That actually wasn't me.
That was me this time.
Somebody tell me why, in any legitimate way, we have Enzo and Cass jobbing to the Shining Stars.
Because, my friend, you need a really good real estate and really, really good timeshare in the beautiful islands of Puerto Rico.
Does WWE just try and give Epico and Primo the dumbest fucking gimmicks there are?
Well, of course.
You know what I think it was,
That's all you
honestly?
can-
Like they can't, like, who in WWE has so much power to decide we're not going to fire these guys? We can't fire them. Okay, but we really don't want to give them anything good, so we'll just give them a really shitty gimmick.
You know what I think happened, though, honestly, and this is the lazy booking of WWE? They came out, and I think initially they were being like nationalistic, or that was at least the shtick. We're better because we're from Puerto Rico. They were doing this whole like, where we come from is better than you. And the YWC tore them a new asshole, saying they sound like cheesy salesmen. And WWE sat back and thought, you know what? That's a good idea. Have the hat on the mask, Guapo.
Yes, I do.
Is that what's happening right now?
Sure, why not? It's that kind of night.
Because YWC doesn't make any sense.
Any sense?
Fine. If that's what we're doing, I'm gonna rock the gimmick hat.
I'm also wearing a hat. You just can't see it.
That's because you're technically in bed with us right now.
Nope.
Anyway.
I can't even make up comebacks tonight, guys. Like, I have been spending the last 5 minutes looking up a soundboard so that I can ruin this show.
Not that hard. We're not professional at all. Speaking of things that I wish were only a rumor and are unfortunately actually happening. Unfortunately. Really?
Yep. It's what's happening.
Okay. Or sorry. I'll go with the positive first. Fortunately, Alicia Fox is seeing a bit of a resurgence. Now, don't go nuts, Kristen. I'm not going to say she's going to come save the division, any of that rah.
I have no problem with Alicia Fox other than the fact that she does the axe kick super dangerously.
I think I will give you that. Other than that, I think she's a little underrated and a little underutilized by WWE, and by that I mean she's never on the show.
I agree with that.
I unfortunately it has to go hand in hand with Nia Jax.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Which is cringe. Because, and I said this, I don't know how many previews ago, WWE, and this is not a dig at Nia Jax. I have to be clear about this before. Okay, Elena, no, I'm not showing off my moves for the general public. That's not going to happen. Nia Jax, not a dig at her.
No, this isn't a professional show.
Yeah. It's a heel Steven reference. And I'm sorry. He beats me in that category. Anyways, getting back to the point. WWE is still Nia Jax. And again, I have to underscore this. I'm not digging her. WWE is still booking her like a fat chick. She's very slow. She just kind of steamrolls people, and it's very.
We've talked about this before. That's what they give her, like, all of her moves are very, and like I said, I feel like I'm always reaching whenever I make this example. All of her moves almost very much focus on the fact that she's a big girl. Like, the leg drop is her finisher. It's like, I'm bigger than you, so I'm just going to sit on you.
All of her moves are varying degrees of, I'm going to squish you because I'm big. Now, you combine that with the fact that they still don't, and I'm not going to tell any women how to dress, that's not what I'm going for here, but they don't present her in a flattering way. I mean, I'll be honest, I don't find her to be an attractive person. That's just a thing. But they don't present her in a very attractive way. They don't book her in the match in a very exciting way. It makes for a very bad thing. And honestly, it's not all on her. I'll go with the typical, it's not her, it's the booking. But I also think that goes hand in hand with I don't think she's that great either. So
I feel like so much can be fixed with her character if they would just spruce her moveset to have, like, some power slams, or, like, hell, give her a choke slam or something. Make her look strong.
there's all the rumors of Bill Goldberg coming back soon, right? Like, whether we want to see it or not, the rumor is out there right now. Wouldn't it be a fun little precursor if you gave a powerhouse like Nia Jax apparently is something like the Jackhammer?
Well, there always is the idea though that, I mean, we don't know a lot about her 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 physical strength. Maybe she just like she's a big girl. Maybe she's not strong enough to pick up someone else and slam them. But like,
again, there's no delicate way for me to say this. She's twice as big as anybody else on the roster. I'm pretty sure Sasha Banks and hit a jackhammer on her.
That's true.
If you can't bench press Nia Jax, you shouldn't be on a wrestling show. Obviously, Nia Jax is going to win, and honestly, that just makes me sad.
Makes us all very sad.
At least it's on the kickoff. Like I said on my Raw review, this will give me the first of several opportunities on Sunday to take a big long poop. Then, speaking of, we mentioned it earlier. It's the Clash of the Champions. Every match is supposed to be a title match. But we have Chris Jericho versus Sami Zayn fighting over Kevin Owens.
Yeah, there's no really good reason for them to be fighting. I do enjoy the Jericho, Kevin Owens, this is my best friend gimmick thing. I kind of like the fact that, because so many times when WWE puts the two people together and says and makes them do this guy's best friend, especially if one's the champion, it kind of ends up like a thing that they're doing with Charlotte and Dana, where like one is like very much being abused by the champion friend, whereas the Kevin Owens Jericho best friend thing is funny because I feel like, at least on Kevin Owens' end, he'll be best friends with Jericho until it's like not convenient to him anymore. But since Jericho's convenient, yeah, totally, we're best friends.
The reason it's so much different than that is because Jericho is the veteran in the situation and he's the sidekick guy, where you have Dana, the protege to Charlotte, and both of them are new characters.
Yeah.
So there is very much that, one's trying to get over on the other, trying to get over on the other.
I'm very much enjoying. I think it's hilarious that Jericho is best friends with this. This is Kevin Owens, my best friend.
Yeah, he's got the goatee and he's got the scarf. And I will say one of the saving graces of Monday Night Raw was the interaction between Chris Jericho and Mick Foley in the back, making fun of Mick Foley's dress, like his dress style and whatever. And Mick Foley's like, yeah, that would make so much more of an impact if it wasn't coming from somebody with a vest and a scarf but no shirt.
Yeah.
I mean, Jericho's fucking gold. Like, let's be real. He's gonna make anything he's involved in okay. I think it was funny when Kevin Owens became the champion, he immediately tweeted out, "Congratulations to my best friend. We are going to make a hell of a champion."
Well, and I also like that Jericho isn't being used as the person that's constantly helping Owens remain champion.
No, it's funny because we not with Jericho so much, but with other part-timers that just come in every now and then, you get the whole, he's hanging out with so-and-so, he's trying to get the rub, he's trying to stay relevant. That's a criticism that we give a lot of people. Jericho is taking that and fully running with it. Zombie Fighter 89 and Michael S., hello to you guys in the chat. Michael S. says he's going to Hell in the Cell in Boston, coming up from Baltimore. That sounds cool. Here's something that nobody, I don't think, is ever going to do ever. Go take a Spaz Phoenix sign, or a Guapo sign, or a Black Hat Feline sign. And
hashtag Guapo shot.
Hashtag Guapo shot. Kristen, are you muted?
No, I'm okay. I'm just muting while I'm trying to eat, so you guys just don't listen to me crunch.
So you don't want to delight us with your nom nom noms?
Exactly.
All right. Let's see. This is the first of several times I'm going to say this tonight. The fact that I don't like this match is not the same as me thinking it's going to be a bad match, because it's Sami Zayn and it's Chris Jericho at the end of the day. They're going to have a good match.
It's two of Canada's best.
It is. It's very, very true. But I don't care. And that's almost worse than them having a bad match.
Yep, understandable. I think I know what the problem is, Spaz. You just don't get it.
Yes, but in November at Survivor Series, I'm going to be gracing Survivor Series with the gift of Spaz.
Are you going to take a sign?
Drink and what?
Are you going to take a sign?
Maybe.
You should.
Spaz Phoenix.
I have said that I will take a sign for the Bear Hug It Out podcast as a small form
Hashtag Guapo Show.
But Guapo, you don't actually have a show or a channel.
You have 2 episodes. That is not a show.
And one of them was a Q&A consisting mostly of my questions.
This is the true fact.
To my friend Elena in the chat, at least Guapo answered my questions. Moving on.
Ooh.
Oh.
Bang, bang. Shots fired.
YouTube beef.
Speaking of, where Chris Jericho and Sami Zayn is happening for no reason, but I still think it's going to be a fantastic match. What's one match that the fans of Raw, and I use the word fans loosely, could do with never, ever, ever, ever seeing again?
Sheamus versus Cesaro?
Big Show versus anybody on the roster.
That's what you call a segue.
Yeah, just stop.
Yes, I remember watching Raw last night, and they were talking about, like, this is match 6 of 7. Oh, God, and they were so excited because it's going to match 7, and I'm like, nobody cares, Cole. Nobody cared after match 2.
Nobody cared after match 1.
Everybody's acting like the announcers. It's insulting to the intelligence, honestly, and I know I'm talking about wrestling here, so that says something. But it's insulting to the intelligence. Oh my God, I can't believe we're going to a match 7. It's a match of 7. We've seen this before. We know how this story goes.
I am willing to put money down that whoever wins, because the whole thing is whoever wins gets like a title opportunity in the future. One of 2 things will happen.
The series.
One of 2 things will happen. Either 1, it'll be for the U.S. title, so they're going to face Roman Reigns, which is a spoiler for my thoughts on that match. 2, they're going to totally forget that they say that and then pretend that it never happened after this feud is over.
You know, there's a lot of people saying that these guys, after the 7th match, are going to grow such a respect for each other that they become a tag team.
That would be the worst.
Just no.
Let that marinate.
It would suck really bad. And that wouldn't look good for Cesaro.
Here's the thing right now, because Cesaro's over and Sheamus isn't, I'm honestly willing very strongly to consider the fact that WWE is stupid enough to give Sheamus the win.
Oh, yeah, they definitely are. Because you know why? Kristen.
Why? Because WWE doesn't make any sense.
I can't even say this is going to be a good match. This is an entire waste of Cesaro. And to be fair, what he's been doing, even before this series here, they've reduced Cesaro to uppercuts and the swing, and he can get his ass kicked and not get pinned. So he's doing everything that we hated Cena for doing. And he's got cheesy, predictable offense. Now, he does 1 or 2 power moves per match. Zombie Fighter 89, yes, we all want Cesaro to win. But I think WWE is stupid enough to go the other way.
We all know better not to cling to that kind of hope.
Yeah, because, you know, you heard Vince McMahon in his interview on the Austin podcast. You know, Cesaro, for some reason, just doesn't grab the brass ring.
Also because Kristen...
WWE doesn't make any sense.
Thank you.
It's already losing enthusiasm. You're using the song too much, Guapo.
Sorry.
Okay, so unfortunately, as much as I hate to say this, my prediction is Sheamus.
I'm gonna go with Cesaro. Only for the
I'm
pure
gonna
fact
have dreams. I'm gonna have dreams just like Zombie Fighter 89, and I'm gonna say Cesaro's gonna win, and then it's gonna lead to nothing.
I didn't say this for the last match, but we're all picking Zayn to beat Jericho, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I think he needs to beat Jericho. Zayn needs a win.
The only way
Owens.
he doesn't win The only way
I also
Sammy,
think that's what Jericho does.
the only way Sammy doesn't win is if Jericho does something or something else happens.
That's really specific, Guapo.
Thank you.
Shenanigans. But I mean, let's be real. Like, the reason people do respect Jericho, despite like no matter what he does, is he basically is in the WWE to make everybody else look good.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
'cause
they've
he's been
done
there
weird
before
stuff
now.
with him before, like him beating AJ Styles in AJ Styles' first WrestleMania match for literally no reason.
Elena, I'm not repeating that, but that's super awesome.
The fuck did I just read, Spaz?
Yeah, Elena's interesting.
All
Well,
right,
that's a thing.
we need to get her on the show.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about the moves. Wrestling with reality. Sorry, my tablet died, but I'm here. FYI, I love you, Kristen. Just like Spaz loves to hate Naomi.
That is the
Yes.
best analogy ever. You win tonight, sir. You win
You like to
tonight.
glow, 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 glow. I know.
Well, you know what's funny? And Spaz is gonna hate me for it. I actually like the Naomi glow thing now.
Drugs
Oh,
are
God.
bad.
I'm into it. Maybe it is all
No.
the allergy meds, but I'm into it. Granted, I didn't like the obviously knockoff Melina fuzz boots that she was wearing on
And the
SmackDown
fact that
yesterday, but
she wasn't even wearing shades. She was just wearing a broken disco ball on her face.
well, they have to
Broken?
reuse that. They
Wait.
have to reuse
Oh,
that
did you say broken?
Funkasaurus stuff.
I will say the chocolate flying camel toe of death now has a neon spider web on it, and make all the jokes of that you want.
She needs a new finisher, definitely.
That finisher disrespects the whole division.
That finisher is the worst finisher, so she needs a new finisher. But I kind of dig the glow gimmick.
You know what I think? I think Naomi should be deleted.
Ah, you changed your name. You changed your name, Angry Mark.
He heard that you were in bed with us, and now he's here. Anyway,
We changed his name to Wrestling with Reality, as opposed to Angry Mark.
I think if you try to enjoy a Raw branded show these days, you are wrestling with reality. Oh, burn.
Boo! Get off the
Delete.
stage.
Delete.
Cheesy burn. Okay, for the newly renamed again Raw Tag Team titles, the New Day versus the Club.
I am so over this feud, and you know what? I think WWE is too, because they barely acknowledged that feud was going on.
I love the fact that literally New Day is coming out and telling us how bad the show is.
Yep.
They did a shitty...
They're like, why did we come out? Because we didn't have anything else to do.
Right? You can't make that shit up.
And then Xavier posted something on his Snapchat during the middle of the commercial break.
No, but let's see. He came out and literally started his promo with, "We're out here because we had nothing better to do." He uses it to cheap plug his
Up, down, down.
His YouTube show.
He tries to stay relevant by mentioning an iPhone 7. But 2 weeks ago, he was like, "Yeah, we did a really shitty segment last week. Here's all the other things that you could have done other than watching Raw."
So the New Day is just acknowledging that Raw sucks and that they'd rather be on SmackDown.
A couple people from the YWC that like actually managed to get on a microphone. I've been saying for a while the New Day needs to drop the titles because they don't need them. New Day needs to do something else. New Day either needs to have a change of attitude or split, like, because it's fucking done. And I would have said to the Club, but now the Club are fucking goofballs, and they're filming really bad porn occasionally with Dana Brooke with the rubber glove gimmick. Like, I don't know what's going on.
I have no idea what you're talking about, and I'm so glad that I don't, because that sounds fucking awful.
Remember when they busted friggin' Big E's nuts and they were doing the whole Dr. Gallows?
Yeah, I get that.
Doctor?
Yeah,
Doctor.
but then they did the Nurse Dana Brooke thing because it was New Day and Bailey versus the Club and
Dana Brooke.
Dana.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm glad I missed that.
But she, the whole time she's sitting there playing with the rubber glove, and everybody's like, "Yeah, she's gonna be on Braziers later," and that's just bad. She's gonna be up there on Pornhub next to Sean's View Entertainment. But anyways, moving. on.
Wait, we didn't do any predictions. Who's winning?
I don't care.
I want the New Day to win, if only so that they can keep doing one of my favorite parts of their shtick, which is the "We are your WWE World Tag Team Champions."
Kristen, I think it was you and me that mentioned this last time we did a preview panel, but here's why New Day doesn't work. Team match. And the ones with the numbers advantage are the good guys. That doesn't work. That in essence, in structure, makes you feel bad for the heels, which is why the heels don't get heat, which is why the good guys don't get any shine.
Yeah, but at this point, the New Day, it'd be very hard for the New Day to go heel at this point because everybody likes them so much.
I was hoping either with the Wyatts or with the club after getting attacked by the club that they wouldn't necessarily change, but like, trying to find a good way to explain this. Not change who they are entirely. Still be the New Day, still be the fun-loving guys, but just give us a glimpse of, like, if you actually piss us off, we do have an aggressive side. My example, and I know this is a stretch, my example is Triple H. When he was in DX, he'd come out at the beginning of the show, do the whole DX shtick, you know, the pyro and the cock jokes and the whole thing. But at the end of the night, if his match was against Cactus Jack, he could still go in there and fucking destroy somebody. Now, you're not going to get that level from the New Day, but you could get a tag team, like, mid-card equivalent of that mentality.
Yes.
We're just not going to get it. If we didn't get it with the Wyatt thing and their bad knockoff of the Final Deletion, then we're not going to get it now.
Which is why Guapo's
Don't do it.
Is going to be Too Sweet, the club.
Yeah, but they're like...
I want to say yes. The club.
The reason I'm saying the club is not because I want the club to win, it's because I want the New Day to lose. And that's bad, because that means I don't want anybody to win, really. But I want to put the titles on the club and then be like, okay, get your shit together and be how you're supposed to be. I didn't even follow the Bullet Club in New Japan and ROH and all that bullshit, but I've heard enough to know that they shouldn't be doing this.
I think the Raw Tag Team division's stale right now.
In New Japan and ROH, they are kind of gimmicky too, where they do crack jokes, stuff like that. But they are a bit more serious than what they're being put on TV for right now.
Well, and if we got new champions, I feel like it would bring life back into the Raw Tag Team division because
yes,
it's been fairly stale.
I think if the club goes heel the way I would like to see them go heel, and they demolish the New Day and either injure them and take them out for a while, or do something so bad that the New Day splits up, you have them go, they dominate some jobber tag teams for a little bit, you build to Enzo and Cass getting as far away from the Shining Stars as possible. Enzo and Cass win the titles at Survivor Series, which I'm going to happen to be at. Wrestling with Reality says, fuck the club, they look like gay soccer dads.
That's a weird analogy, but yes.
The hair club for men. I want the club to win.
Besides, the New Day will be deleted.
Boo.
Yeah. There's nowhere to even go from there. I'm saying the club. Guapo, you're saying the club.
Definitely club. Kristen?
Oh, I was going to say I didn't care.
All right, there we go.
Kristen, why don't you care?
Because WWE doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
Oh, it's getting so much less enthusiastic. I'm going to make it, guys. It's going to be all right.
Let's talk about things that
don't make... Get the fuck out.
Yeah, Alina's awesome. I knew if I could get her on the chat, she'd be good. Okay, what is the number one way to get a United States Championship match? In the WWE, you get a United States Championship match by failing multiple times to get a completely different title.
Yep.
Rusev versus Roman. I was so up for this at SummerSlam. I figured, okay, I don't like Roman. I don't want Rusev to lose the title per se. They were going to have a good match. We saw what they did on Raw the weeks before SummerSlam. And I figured at the end of the day, if Roman Reigns wins the United States Championship, it's not the greatest, but at least it locks him into the mid-card so that he's not in the main title picture. Glass half full on that one. Now they've drug it out for so long, and they haven't really done anything with it. The whole story is, Roman Reigns playing third wheel in the Universal title picture. That I can't muster a fuck to give.
Well, I feel like what happened with that is that they were attempting to turn Seth Rollins face. It's kind of working, but I don't think they thought it was going to be successful. So, they had a backup.
And here's the thing, though. They're turning Seth Rollins' face, finally. They're doing it gradually and super slowly. But he's been a face to us, to the fans, and yes, no, not in character, Kristen. I know you're going to correct me. But he's basically been our babyface since he got back. You can't do the whole, 1 hour special on how he come back from the big fucked up knee injury.
Oh, I agree with that.
And he's going up against all the people that we don't like Roman Reigns, and he was going after Cena, and, he's pissed off at the Authority. Then you got screwed over by the Authority. You don't need to do a slow, gradual build to him being face because he's already face. You were just the last ones to know.
And then there was silence.
I'm still, as much as I don't care about the match, I will still stick to what I was saying at SummerSlam. I want Roman Reigns to win. A, because it'll lock him into the mid-card, and B, because there's a mild chance. Mild, like Cesaro getting a push, mild chance that Rusev might get to scrape at the main event scene now and then.
I seriously doubt that. They're not moving Rusev up. It's just not happening.
It's not going
to No. He won't be the champion. He won't be the champion, but if Seth Rollins, we're going to get to Seth Rollins in a second, but if Seth Rollins became the champion and the Authority wanted to punish him, like they used to use the Big Show as punishment, you're the champion. We don't like that you're the champion, so we're going to send Rusev out to beat you up. He's not in a title match, but even interacting with the main champion on the roster does elevate Rusev's his stock in the show, because would you rather be the mid-card champion, or would you rather be a vital cog in the wheel of the main event storyline? That's my hope. I don't think it's going to happen, but I can hope.
Roman.
Well, Roman? Kristen?
Just Roman.
I think Roman's going to win.
But you're not happy about it.
I am nothing about it. And also, my friend Stuart just sent me the weirdest fucking thing in a Facebook chat, and so I have no words right now.
Is it appropriate?
No. Not for the show.
Is it a dick pic?
Not his.
Whoa.
Wait, what?
Guapo, what have you been up to?
I've done nothing. I have
this really terrible image right now of Guapo manufacturing really tiny luchador mask.
What?
I do not need that image in my head.
Guapo has a girlfriend. He doesn't do that shit.
What? Whoa, hang on. No, we're not talking about wrestling anymore. What? Did you really just tell me this first live on air? You bastard.
I thought you saw on Facebook.
No, I didn't see on Facebook. Is it what's her face, the brunette?
What?
I don't know who it is. You've been taking a bunch of pictures with this cute little brunette girl. Is that her?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Sorry. That was sidetracked, but Guapo just blindsided me with this.
By the way, Kristen.
What?
Kristen. She's 29.
Oh, good for you. You're not dating tweens anymore. I'm so proud of you.
The real question is how much are you paying her, and does she take debit?
Exactly.
She's actually paying me.
Whoa. No, here it is. She's getting the gift of Guapo, but she's keeping the receipt.
You bastard, you haven't changed it. It still says single on your profile, you dick.
Oh, I haven't changed that, but you know, we're dating.
Wait a minute,
Made me think you made it Facebook official, and I didn't see that shit.
Oh no, I haven't made that yet.
I love the fact that she's barely awake enough to be in the video, but she's super awake to do some Facebook stalking.
Yes.
She has the gift of Guapo.
I have to keep up with his love life so that he'll stop dating tweens.
Kristen, I love the fact
For the record, by tweens I mean 19-year-olds, because Guapo is at least staying above the legal limit.
Thank you.
Yeah, the only one that's going for the actual teenagers is Dark Horse Danielson, and that's not something I really want to talk about in this video.
Oh, for Angry Mark in the chat, Guapo was never on that level, so you never had to worry about that.
This conversation between me and Kristen wouldn't be able to happen if that was a thing, ever.
Yeah, I told Guapo if we ever got to that point and then broke up, then he could never be on the show ever again. It's just a rule.
And I need Guapo to hang around because sometimes Kristen's not here.
Negative, Angry Mark. She does not.
Sure. This is not a wrestling show.
So wrestling.
But I just want to say that, you know, Kristen, half asleep, not really like 100% in this conversation, still doing the Facebook stalking, which proves that as much as we love Kristen and as much, Kristen, as you are one of the guys, you are still in fact female. Good.
I try and remind you guys of that every once in a while.
I'm thinking back to the Finn Balor outfit.
Don't be creepy. Don't be creepy, Spaz.
It's not creepy. You sent me a picture of it.
I did.
On Twitter.
And Finn Balor liked my tweet.
And then he liked.
And then he liked about 30,000 other people's tweet, but he liked mine too.
Angry Mark, when the video is over, go check out Twitter and find Black Cat Balor. It's good times. You're gonna have a good time.
That's what we should have called that costume.
Speaking of the women that are women, most of the time. Oh my God, you're looking for it right now.
It's a good picture, except that I'm a little chubby in it.
Fuck off. You're like half the size of either of us. You can fuck the fuck off.
Well, I am a little chub. I have a little chub in it.
Okay, moving the fuck on to the
I've made Spaz so angry by insinuating that I might be a little bit chubby in that costume.
Yeah. You beat us by half, so stop. Anyways, Charlotte versus Sasha Banks versus Bayley, which every fiber of my being wants to be excited about, but they dicked us around so fucking hard when they were building this match.
I agree. It's
like,
going to be a great match, though.
Bayley comes in, Bayley debuts. Bayley beats up Dana Brooke. Bayley beats Charlotte. And later on in the night, Sasha comes back and announces that she's got a title shot. And then Bayley comes in, and they're fucking with Bayley already. Comes up all like super fucking awkward, like a little kid talking to pedophile Mick Foley. Can I please have a title shot? And then match. Dana Brooke gets thrown into a #1 contenders match for reasons.
Hang on. Can we address the fact that last night when they brought that up, that there was a double pin? Wait, no, was it a triple threat match?
Yeah, this is my point.
Never mind, I had a point and it was completely wrong.
Yeah, Dana Brooke was in a triple threat match with Sasha Banks and Bayley because for 5 seconds she had some balls and slapped Charlotte, and she got thrown into the #1 contenders match. They made the argument that Sasha and Bayley's shoulders were both down. By process of elimination, if they want to say that they both lost, would that not then make Dana the #1 contender?
That was exactly the point I was going to make.
But then WWE looked at that and said, no, nobody really wants to see Dana versus Charlotte for the championship. I think as soon as the fight for the title goes to between Bayley and Sasha down the line, then you're going to get the Charlotte versus Dana match because nobody believes Dana as a title contender. Not yet. I like Dana Brooke more than most people do. I'm not saying she's super great. I think she's got a lot of promise. She's got a lot of work to do, but I don't hate her. I
really liked pairing her up with Emma. I really liked their thing that they had.
Yeah, but I don't think they can go back to that now.
No, and I don't really enjoy the thing she has with Charlotte because it's the very not stereotypical. It's the very like bland champion has a crony to do their dirty work for them and, treats them shitty for it.
It is the worst example of Shawn Michaels Diesel ever.
It's just not... It's not interesting. The only way it's interesting is if the payoff is eventually the abused party decides they've had enough and then goes after the title. And clearly that's not going to happen.
I don't think so because I think after Charlotte loses the title, whenever she does, she blames Dana for it and keeps mistreating her. And then you have her finally snap on her mentor because you can still have a mentor-student story with involved, and then that's when you do that. That's when you do that. In the process, we get more invested in Dana, and then you try to
I feel like there's more stake involved, more stakes if there's a title involved. Like, you can still have the I'm gonna beat you thing, but I feel like it's a more compelling story if then the abused student beats the mentor and takes the title.
See, I think it's the other way around. If you get the title on either Sasha or Bayley away from Dana and Charlotte, you have Dana beat her mentor and use that story as a stepping stone towards her getting the title from somebody else. I think that's a story that could actually play out better.
I think I disagree on that, but not enthusiastically.
People are like, oh, they shouldn't do a bully story with Charlotte because WWE's got the Be a Star campaign and it makes them hypocrites and rah-de-rah-de-rah. No, it doesn't. Because A, the person being bullied is going to get their comeuppance in the end. They are. And B, Charlotte's a bad guy, so WWE can use the bad guy to show how bad bullying is. If you can't have anybody...
It's very different from TNA a very long while back. Had a similar campaign of don't be a bully, and they literally had their biggest heel at the time, Jeff Hardy. Or was it Bully Ray? I thought it was Jeff Hardy. Their biggest heel, in the campaign. And I'm like, that makes no sense.
Yeah. No, but I think it's a it's a strained mentality to be like, oh, you have this campaign about anti-bullying, and then you have people mistreating each other in the ring. It's like, if you don't have anybody mistreating anybody in the wrestling ring, you literally have no stories.
All right, guys. You guys keep talking about it. I'll be right back.
All right. Kristen's bailing. Guapo, you've been kind of quiet.
I'm not bailing. I just need to go get some tissue.
Okay.
Wrestling.
Me too.
Because WWE doesn't make any sense.
I mean, are you with me, man, though? Honestly, Bayley versus Charlotte versus Sasha should be a match we're excited about.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's 3 of the 4 horsewomen of NXT. I mean, it's 3 women who we've watched basically start in the business, and now they've made it to this big highlight. But the way that they've started it and presented this match, it's just and there are any other time, I would love to watch this match, but now it's just all right, someone win and get it over with.
I'd rather they do no story than a bad story.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes, completely, 100%.
If you just told me, the draft happened yesterday, all these 3 girls got drafted to Raw, so we're going to have a triple threat match to crown a new women's champion. Throw these 3 in there. Cool. Because then it's like CWC style, and literally you're just focusing on the match. Right. And that would be great. But they've done all this stuff, and I'm sorry, they really are already fucking with Bayley.
Yeah.
Because she came out, while Sasha was talking about her deserving a title match and whatever, and Bayley literally came out and she was like, but Mr. Foley, I kind of beat the champion last week, so maybe I get a title shot. I know she's the timid underdog, scrappy girl next door, nice girl. But fucking awkward when asserting the fact that you deserve a title shot.
Exactly. You pinned the champion. You deserve a title shot 100%, but don't fucking dilly-dally fuck around with it. Go out there,
If you
say,
can't
hey,
have it,
I beat you, give me a shot.
see, here's my problem as a viewer, as a fan, whatever, right? And yes, I might be nitpicking a little bit. Even if I just saw you beat the champion, if you can't say that you deserve a title shot with a little bit of bass in your voice and a little bit of spine
with your chest,
then no matter what you've earned, you haven't convinced me that I want to see you go for that title.
Exactly.
I mean, and Sasha Banks just needs to stop hurting herself.
I think part of that's on Charlotte though too.
It is, but I mean, when that finally happened at SummerSlam, she said she did admit that she was going on a break to nurse some long-standing injuries. I mean, the big botch at SummerSlam didn't help, but there was previously existing conditions and just.
How long was her break? Seriously, how long did she go? I feel like it was like one Raw.
No, she was gone. She was gone for 30 days.
Yeah.
Was she? I felt like it was like the next Raw she was back.
Kristen, you kind of sound like you're deep throating your microphone.
I'm sorry. I don't know how to fix that. Hang on.
Okay. The mute thing keeps popping up and off, so maybe you're leaning on.
I know. I'm doing that.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Anyways,
figure mark. You scared Kristen off.
I think Sasha plays some heel tactics and takes out Bayley in a really, really not nice way, and they go on to feud for the title for a little bit.
I'll be okay with it. I'll be okay with Sasha winning it. I would be okay with with Bayley winning it too.
Not yet.
Not yet, but in a sense, yes.
Oh, down the line for sure. Like the perfect capping moment. Like we are going to have Bayley leave Survivor Series with the championship. I think. How we get there, I'm a little bit unsure on, but I think she leaves Survivor Series. Wrestling with Reality says Bayley has a nice ass. Well,
Bayley does have a nice ass.
It's true.
But you know who has a better ass?
Our girl?
Alexa Bliss.
Oh, yes.
That's an ass I can eat off of.
My.
The booty dough.
That booty dough.
Now there's two Kristens in the bottom thing there, gimmick. Does she have a voice, though? The answer is no.
Yeah, two cops up there.
Two cops? Hmm. Apparently they got 2 cops pulled over somebody in my driveway.
Nice.
I know, right? I didn't do anything.
I'm not delusional. There's like 2 Kristen avatars down there.
I'm back because I was trying to sign in on my phone the same time this was signing in because I didn't think it was working. All I heard was, "Oh look, I'm in the call twice." How the fuck did that happen?
Because Google Hangouts don't make any
sense. I am in the call twice. I don't know how to fix that now because I've literally closed the app on my phone. Whatever.
Fuck it, we're doing it live. Anyways, your thoughts on the women's triple threat?
Oh, there it goes. It disappeared. I don't know because I just like. We can all agree that Sasha. What are you laughing at?
Look. Hold on, Spaz. Click over to your tab with for YouTube. And
oh, okay, got it. I know what you're laughing at. Anyways. I don't know what we're laughing at.
The cat's head is too small for its body.
It's just a cat's head. That's it.
What's just a cat's head?
Your avatar in the video is a cat head.
Oh, well, that's the thing now. I don't know why it's doing that.
Looks like a really fat cat with a really tiny head. Oh, this
Maybe I
is
can change that. I don't know how to change that. Oh, look, I can change that. I'm going to totally change that.
I think we're gonna lose Kristen.
No, I'm
Yeah.
right here. Well, you might lose me from the
Guys,
constructive part of the conversation.
what's more likely to happen? Sasha goes really, really dirty heel on Bailey, and we get that story, or Dana costs Charlotte the championship, and we get that story.
Dana.
I would love to have Dana take Charlotte out of the equation, and Sasha turns on Bailey, but that's too perfect, and WWE won't do it.
Exactly.
I'm watching the video feed right now, and I'm just now seeing Suave walking back and forth behind Guapo.
Oh, yeah.
I totally missed all of that.
Hi, Suave.
Hi, Suave.
He's already in the bedroom. Yeah, he's like, fuck y'all.
It's on a delay. No matter how we get there, I want to see Sasha leave with the title this Sunday. I don't know whether it's going to happen. I have a shitty feeling we're just going to go status quo and have Charlotte win. I think we have one more. I think we have Hell in the Cell again for the Raw guys before Survivor Series. So who knows what's going to happen there? Kristen?
Here's my thing: is that I love all three, Sasha, Charlotte, and Bailey, but we've seen this feud before. We've seen them all feud, and we've seen probably the best version of the Sasha Bailey match. So, I'm underwhelmed at the idea of seeing them feud again.
Don't lie though, if they do Sasha Bailey at like WrestleMania, it'll be fucking hyped.
It will. Like it'll be a great match, and it'll be a great match if we have it at like SummerSlam. But I'm just saying.
You mean Survivor Series?
Yes, whatever. Yeah. You knew what I meant. At the next big pay-per-view, but I see in the future them continuing to milk this or to beat this dead horse of Sasha versus Bailey. Sasha's mean and arrogant, and Bailey's the scrappy underdog, and we're gonna get sick of it, and that's a reality that I don't want to live in, but I just see that in the future.
Here's my problem, and here's where I'm going to say once again that I'm firmly Team Blue. Who else do they have on Raw other than these three that's a legitimate contender for a title? And please don't say Nia Jax.
I was never going to say that. The SmackDown women's division, I feel like, has a lot more diversity in it as to who could be going for the title. Whereas Raw, we have, the main three, and then you have Dana Brooke, which they're clearly not going to put the title on especially anytime soon. Nia Jax, who's definitely going to be champion in the future.
Nia Jax is the big show of the women's division.
And Alicia Fox, who they haven't utilized her properly in years. So
which is really sad.
They have to default to this three-way feud between Sasha, Charlotte, and Bailey over and over and over and over again until we're just sick of it.
We do have two women that we're waiting to come back on Raw. We got Hot Heel Emma, who's apparently cleared and coming back any day. And then we've got Paige, who's got Alberto Del Rio's character name tattooed on her tit.
I don't feel like that's real.
That is an unfortunate mistake for her. Their relationship is doomed now. You know that, right? Once you tattoo a name onto your body of a significant other, it's over. 3 months from now, they'll be broken up. Guaranteed.
It's not even his real name. He's retired from WWE again, and his screen name is under her tit.
It's like their relationship is over 3 months, guaranteed.
I'm going to find it now.
That's the curse.
Oh, I've seen it. I feel like it's fake, but I've seen it.
And she also has Pappy tattooed on her finger for him.
Oh, that's just 2 tattoos. Oh God, it's oh they're gonna break up in 2 months now instead of 3.
Yeah.
Their relationship is on borrowed time at this point.
Is
I'm
it
trying
Emma? Didn't Emma come back? She came back at a house show, I think.
at a
But
house
she's
show,
not
but
back
not telling.
live yet. She's not
But
back on the show.
is she be on SmackDown or Raw?
She'll be on Raw.
She's I think one of them needs to move to SmackDown because I mean you can't have just both of them drop in there at once. I don't
I
think.
feel like Emma would go to SmackDown only for the fact that that's where Zack Ryder is.
Well, and if you moved Emma to SmackDown and shit, who's the other person that's coming back?
Or you put Paige on SmackDown and keep
Paige.
Emma on Raw.
They need to have one on one show, one on the other, because that would keep the women's division even on both shows. They'd both have 7.
Yeah, but SmackDown has a better 7. I'm not
They
saying
do
that
have
like
a better 7. I think it would help Raw a lot more if they got both of them, just because then there would be more legitimate contenders for the title and more storylines to play with. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to try and keep it even. But even one new person would help, because like I said, I'm just terrified of the idea that we are going to get to the point where we're just over Charlotte versus Sasha, Charlotte versus Bayley, or Bayley versus Sasha. You know, the 3-way tango that they have feud wise.
I'm gonna try and do the screen share gimmick for a second. I don't know if it's gonna work, but
We're doing it live.
We're doing this. We're gonna see how this happens.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, I can see. Oh, that is unfortunate.
Oh man.
Well, wait, scroll down a little bit. I want to read what she tagged this as.
When you love someone so much, you give it all for, not the expression, no, literally give it all for.
Oh my God, she's like a tween.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel so sad now.
There's one more. I'm gonna find it, and then we're gonna be done.
I'm so sad.
Let's talk about something.
I'm going to talk about how sad I am for the fact that her relationship's going to be over in 2 months.
Okay, we're gonna do the screen share gimmick one more time.
We could talk about something. We could talk about how the Young Bucks have shirts called Super Kicks.
Oh God!
Look at the Pappy tattoo on her freaking finger.
It just and I don't want this to happen. I don't want this to happen, but he's literally just gonna rampantly cheat on her.
Well,
does he have any tattoos of her name?
I don't know.
Exactly. Oh, he's gonna mega cheat on her, and they're gonna be done in 3 months.
I'm sorry.
Guaranteed.
I'm getting repetitive now, but I have to say, friggin' Alberto Del Rio is his fucking gimmick name. See, I got the gimmick hat, but it's on a hat. And Guapo's showing
I feel
us the
like
super kick.
Paige just became unappealing to like a lot of guys now.
This has to be one of the funnest things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Fucking Young Bucks. So, wrestling.
I don't know. Speaking of other people's women, Lana's in a random movie with Edge, who's famous for stealing other people's wives.
I know.
So that's a thing. Anyways, let's talk about something fun. Let's talk about where did all my fucking
Angry Mark, didn't you just hear my whole rant about if you get a tattoo of a significant other, the relationship's over. Unless it's children, unless you get like a child's name like tattooed on you.
Yeah, but your child shouldn't be your significant other. That's weird.
Yes, that is weird. That's the only time you should put another person's name on your body, is if you helped create that person. That's all I'm saying.
Picture of a tadpole. Look, it's an early picture of me.
I'm just saying,
All right.
people
Okay,
people
Wrestling?
that get significant others' names tattooed on their body, and people that have neck tattoos just make terrible decisions.
I feel like there's
I will
shade just thrown there.
Well, there
Face
is a little shade thrown there, but it's an opinion that I had before I knew the guy that we graciously call Neck Tattoo.
I will say a face tattoo is worse than a neck tattoo.
Any tattoo from the neck up, you make unfortunate decisions.
There's an exception to that.
Let's just say I'm not going to loan you any money because you make terrible life decisions.
I will say I've seen a couple of people, mostly female, that have like the little like small gimmick behind the ear or whatever. Those are not so bad.
That's not, as long as it's like tasteful. It's not like something just like gawky or whatever.
People tattoo their tongues. That's a thing.
They also tattooed inside their lips.
Like
Yeah.
Lita. Yeah, but even that's like, okay, she has it, but like unless she does this, then nobody's gonna see it.
Right.
So that's one of those like.
There's always exceptions to the rule.
Can we talk about something fun?
Yeah.
With T.J. Perkins versus Brian Kendrick.
That's gonna be
Yeah.
awesome. Although I did read an article saying that WWE is going to tone down the cruiserweights.
How does one tone down cruiserweights?
Apparently, they're not going to be doing nearly as crazy shit now that they're on Raw.
Yeah, but I don't
Which is
think they
probably
have-
a good idea so that they don't get injured within a week of being on Raw.
But I mean, like if you look at the cruiserweight division, or the cruiserweight classic rather, one of the things that it proved is the old stereotype of like cruiserweights are just spot monkeys isn't a thing. A lot of those guys in that tournament were like really super fucking technical guys, which I like. I like, even though it's super simple, I like Brian Kendrick's finisher, the bully choke, that they've renamed the captain's hook, which is lame, but I still like the move.
I still like the move.
Yes.
TJ Perkins, I'm really, really glad that TJ Perkins won.
I love that they're playing off the fact that he's older, that Brian Kendrick's 37, so everything he does is kind of out of desperation to have one more run.
I liked Brian Kendrick back in the day. I'm glad that he's back now, but somebody on Twitter a while ago said something that's kind of true. He kind of looks like the type of old smoking woman that you find at a truck stop. He look like in the like he's.
He does look a little rough.
He's a bit haggard. Anytime we've seen him since he came back, he did a little bit of stuff in NXT for a little bit, and then he went off to train Eva Marie. And then he stuck
how well that went.
He's I can speak, I swear. And then he did his thing in the Cruiserweight Classic. Really, really emotional moment with him and Daniel Bryan, which was all fine. But every time we've seen him, he doesn't look like he's having a good day.
Yeah, like he looks a little rough.
Like he looks a bit sunken. I mean, it doesn't change the fact that he's awesome in the ring. I love that they gave him the nickname the Wizard of Odd, which is cool. His promos have been kind of all over the place, but like in a good way. But I like what they've done and how they've presented TJ Perkins. Like, just they didn't beat it over the head, but they gave us enough of his story. They did everything but tell us that he was suicide in TNA.
Was he suicide in TNA?
That TJ Perkins is suicide from TNA.
Ah, did not know that.
Yeah.
He's the one that I felt very bad for years, just having to wrestle in that full body suit.
In the body condom there.
Yes.
And
that must have been the worst.
Well, it was because occasionally he wasn't there, and occasionally Manic was actually Christopher Daniels.
Yeah.
I like the fact that they changed him from suicide to Manic and didn't change anything else about him.
Well, why would you?
But like change of name for no reason at all. And I'm sure some censor came along and told them that it was insensitive to have a character named Suicide. But then again,
pretended to shoot himself in the head.
Yeah, but then again, they also had a character named Homicide.
That is true.
They also had a character named Stupid Shit.
Stupid Shit?
Yes. you know.
Guapo, I'm the one on drugs. I'm the one that doesn't make any sense tonight.
Here's the
I'm
sad thing.
tired.
We're talking about TNA, so I don't even know if he's kidding or not.
That could be a real thing. That's true.
Yeah.
Let's finish this off.
Before
Anyway,
gets promoted.
Perkins is going to win.
Perkins is gonna win. They didn't give him the title this soon to take it off of him.
TJ Perkins, definitely.
If Spaz ever starts selling T-shirts, the first one he releases should say, "I can speak, I swear." Fucking fantastic. That's an old joke from last year. I don't know if you were around for that, Angry Mark, but
I think the first shirt that you should have is time to do a video at a ridiculous
Ridiculous time.
Ridiculous.
It's not ridiculous.
There it is.
it's actually not. We got together tonight and we're like, we're going to start at 11, and we actually pretty much started at 11. So good for us. But here's the thing. One thing before we go on to the main event. There's been a lot of bullshit over the titles that we've been creating recently. They're all the same. This one's a copy of that one.
I love the cruiserweight title and how it looks.
I do too. It has a little bit of a sheriff's badge kind of look to it, but not in a way that takes away from it. It is unique. I mean, could I do without it being purple? Yeah, but I don't care enough for it to bother me. Like, the shape of it is different, the layout of it is different, and it is relatively simple. It's good. And Triple H coming out to make the presentation at the end of the tournament and all that Cruiserweight Classic was fucking phenomenal. Let's be real.
Yes.
Yes.
The last two matches, TJ Perkins in the semi to Ibushi.
Yes.
All of the yes.
Anyway, did you guys watch the whole tournament?
Yes.
I haven't finished it
I think
yet.
I missed one episode. That was it.
Okay, Guapo, I think I'll ask you more then if Kristen hasn't seen the whole thing yet. My two favorite matches in the entire tournament are both Perkins matches. It's Perkins versus Ibushi and Perkins versus Gargano. How about you?
I agree with you. Both of those are really great matches. I have to say, though, my two favorite, though, were one was Grand Metalik versus Perkins for the final, and other was Tommaso Ciampa and Gargano.
I was gonna say Tommaso Ciampa, like those two Perkins matches are like tied for first. Tommaso Ciampa versus Johnny Gargano in the first round might grab third. I will say the match against Grand Metalik wasn't bad, but I mean it was the second match for both guys that night, so it wasn't going to be the same as when they went out for the first time. So it's kind of not fair for me to say, but I will say the one against Ibushi was better. In my personal opinion, like I said, the one with him and Gargano, I can't believe that they did Ciampa versus Gargano in the first round.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it is what it is. They had that, and then in the immediate next round, they had him versus Perkins. And then we go and we go and we go. Anyways, Perkins is retaining. Does anybody disagree?
Yes. I agree with you.
Okay. Going on to the main event. For the Universal Championship, for the big pepperoni belt, Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins.
AKA the only match that matters on this card.
Almost.
I wish I cared. I love Kevin Owens. I love Seth Rollins. I love that they're finally turning Seth Rollins' face. I love that he's back in the title picture. I love that he's away from the Authority. I wish I cared more. I really
This
do.
is all leading up to Seth Rollins versus Triple H at WrestleMania.
Or Survivor Series.
Maybe.
My quick pick for this match is going to be Kevin fucking Owens.
Yeah, they didn't put the belt on him this soon to have him lose it.
And I don't want him to lose yet. And Seth Rollins being kept from the title is how they're going to build the Triple H storyline.
My fear for Kevin Owens is that they are going to do the same thing with him that they did with Seth Rollins, which is the only way he wins is by some sort of screwy finish, Triple H coming back and helping, or them sending somebody out. And I don't want that. Like
Yeah,
Kevin Owens
but they
can
haven't-
be
but they haven't
heel
really-
like and cheat a little bit. I don't want anybody to come out and help him.
But
If
here's-
anybody's going to be Jericho.
Except for his best friend Chris Jericho.
Triple H out of nowhere, first of all. Triple H gave Kevin Owens the championship and fucked off, and we haven't seen him since. So you got that angle, but you've also got the fact that he's got Jericho in his back pocket. You never know how that's going to go. You've got the fact that Jericho is fighting his nemesis, Sami Zayn, which could be a contributing factor. Here's what I don't like. Like I said, when we talked about the Roman Reigns shit, he got a U.S. title match because he kept on failing to get the Universal title. That's basically how he got his U.S. title match. But on the go-home show, and there's lots of other problems that I have with this match, but this is the main one. On the go-home show, on the go-home Monday Night Raw, your main champion lost clean to your secondary title contender. I don't care that it's Roman Reigns. I'm not even digging at the fact that it's Roman Reigns. But here's your world champion. Here's your contender. Here's your secondary champion, and here's his contender. This guy should not be beating this guy. I don't care what the demographic is or what the scenario is. That's bullshit. You make Kevin Owens look shit as a champion by doing that.
Yes.
I agree.
And any excitement I had for this match, because this is going to be a good match. Let's be fucking real. This is going to be a better match than my excitement right now currently reflects. But any hope I had for this match to be as fantastic as it deserves to be got deflated at the end of Raw. And
I agree.
And the whole, like, their entire story has been a Roman Reigns third wheel story.
I don't know. I don't know what to do with it. I just know that this is going to be a good match. And, with how Raw has been lately, that's all you can hope for sometimes. It's just that it's going to be a good match. Maybe the reason why it's happening doesn't make any sense. But
well, that's what
in
I said.
some cases, this one does make sense, but it's had a lot of weird things. And I almost wonder if it was because they weren't sure what they wanted to do after Finn Balor left, so they kind of had to scramble and throw some shit together.
Apparently, the feud they had in mind before he got injured was Balor versus Owens again from NXT. But they were going to build heavily on their feud from NXT, so like the whole unfinished business.
Yeah.
Because basically Finn Balor got the title off of Owens, and then Owens came up to Raw.
Pretty much.
So they were going to do like Angry Owens unfinished business from NXT, which could have been cool. But then I think you wouldn't get the face turn that Rollins is getting now. So where would Rollins have been?
They would have figured out a way for him to turn face, because I do really feel like they are pushing for Rollins to face Triple H at Mania. I think that's what all of this is about.
See, I think that too, but I don't think you start a Triple H Rollins story now if we're not getting it until Mania. I know they do big builds for the Triple H matches. I really want to hope that WWE wants to do something different with Survivor Series this year.
The only reason I say Mania and not Survivor Series is because of the fact that Triple H did what he did, and then he left, and nobody's heard from him.
Yeah. I mean, I know they're the only 4 main eventers on Raw, but I really do hope this eventually becomes somewhere down the line. They could do this at Hell in the Cell. Perfect example, Hell in the Cell. Regardless of who's champion, he's still injured. Fuck. Okay, fantasy booking for a second. If Finn Balor wasn't injured, Finn versus Zayn versus Owens versus Rollins. Fatal 4-way Hell in the Cell match. That's how you make the secondary pay-per-views seem important. Triple H breaks into the Hell in the Cell, fucks over Rollins. That's how you set up the immediate match at Survivor Series. You don't have a definitive end at Survivor Series. Triple H fucks off again, and then you can build to Mania.
Yes.
Interference by CM Punk.
No.
Okay, because we haven't talked since friggin' the pre-show for Backlash. Can we just talk for a second about how CM Punk got his ass handed to him in the UFC?
My thing with that is a lot of people are giving him shit about it. He said like months ago that there is a very big possibility that he could just get his ass kicked. Like he knew that this is a possibility.
No. Don't get me wrong. I'm still a fan of Punk. I'm not shitting on him for losing. It's just the whole like. I went into that. I don't watch UFC. Fans of mine know this, but I look at CM Punk the same way I look at somebody like a Brock Lesnar. Even if you don't like Brock Lesnar / CM Punk, you gotta kind of back them when they go into something else because you know the fans of whatever that something else is are
going to shit on him. Yeah.
Oh, they're shitting on us. They're the ones that say, "Well, our sport's real," and then Brock Lesnar goes in and owns your fucking sport. Right? So I was backing CM Punk. I wanted him to be CM Punk.
There's so much echo.
It's not from me.
Hello.
Hello. It's like somebody doesn't have their headset plugged in so we can hear their feedback.
Might be me.
Guapo, you're ruining the show.
Sorry.
It must be him. He didn't echo.
Yeah, it's totally you, Guapo.
Oh well.
Anyways, but no, I didn't. I take no pleasure in the fact that he lost. I wanted him to win. I wanted him to succeed, like on our behalf. Even though he doesn't think he's on our behalf anymore, he kind of is by default. But it was so quick.
Yeah, I wish it wasn't that quick, but sometimes that happens in UFC.
Guapo. No, fix your shit. Fix your shit.
Fix your shit. That's distracting.
Is that better?
I don't know. No, it is not better. Well, this is just going to be the show now.
Kristen, who's going to win?
I think they're going to keep it on Owens. There's no way they gave him the title this early to take it off of him. But I've been wrong before when it comes to that, because why would you let Sasha Banks win the title and then take it off of her 3 days later? Sorry, a week later.
I think Kevin Owens wins because it does more for the Rollins story for him to lose than for him to win right now. Guapo?
Owens, because fuck the system.
Anyways, this is a very lackluster preview for what I think is going to be a very lackluster pay-per-view. Thank you to all of the people in the chat. Zombie Fighter 89, Wrestling with Reality. Who am I missing? Elena, obviously. Michael S., obviously. And
thanks, guys.
Kristen, tell them where to find you.
You can find me on Twitter at BlackCatFeline. You can find me on YouTube at the BlackCatFeline. And at this point, we're going to start doing shows again. Need to set a schedule for that, but we haven't yet. So we'll let you know when that's going to be a thing. You can find me on Instagram at anything BlackCatFeline. Probably me. If you Google BlackCatFeline, you'll probably find all of my social medias and probably a few unfortunate other things on the internet that I did as a teenager.
The fan fictions?
Yes. That was the thing I did as a teenager.
All right, Guapo, tell them where to find you, buddy.
Mis amigos, you can find me on Twitter at Guapo_504 on the Twitterverse. And you can also find me on the Black Hat Feline channel.
Whenever we actually
and on
start
here
making
on the
videos
Spaz
again.
Phoenix channel sometimes.
Kristen, if I'm not mistaken, the last video on your channel was us talking about Suicide Squad.
Yep. Oh, yeah, that's true. Spaz comes on the channel every once in a while. We talk about movies, and when it comes to Marvel and DC, we usually disagree on them.
And the next thing up on that channel is going to be Doctor Strange.
Probably.
Entirely possible.
Yep. That's the next one, so.
I love how as
Most
soon
we
as the
actually talked
echo
about
started,
wrestling.
Spaz was like, "I'm done with the show. We're leaving now."
Well, I'm surprised it lasted as long as it did. Like I said it at the beginning. The women's match, the cruiserweight match. I'm pretty sure the rest of this is going to be shit and make me angry
On
and have a bunch of fun endings.
on that note, I'm gonna go to sleep and try not to be sick anymore. For the
All right.
win, maximum effort.
Thank you all for joining. This will be much more energetic in 2 weeks when we talk about No Mercy, because No Mercy is from SmackDown, and that is the thing that decides everything right now. I've been
Yay!
Spaz, he's been Guapo, she's been Kristen. We are your YWC Reality Check. This is the tackle for the cock. Leave your questions, comments, and concerns and all that sort of thing down in the box below. Start a conversation. Keep all these conversations going. Don't be a stranger. I'll talk to every last one of you later. But for right now, we're tagging out. Bye, guys.
Adios,
Maximum
mis
effort.
amigos.